Hello, I am Sinner, and today I'm just giving a quick review of a book I finished called The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Now, I thought it was overall a pretty decent little book. It's very short, it's only like, 70 pages long or something like that. Either way, it's very, very short for a novel. Um, yeah, it's quite interesting. It's very much one of those like 17th century mystery novels where at first you're given like a patchwork of different accounts and you're not really given the full picture, and then like uh in this one it's all explained at the end because there's like a big confession note. I'm going to spoil everything, by the way, in this, but overall it was pretty good. I think one issue with these sorts of novels reading them in 2025 is the fact that uh like all other mystery novels of its sort, Dracula and Frankenstein. The issue is the thing that made these books famous is the mystery of the book. So if you know why the book's famous, you also know what the sort of reveal is at the end of the book, like what the answer to all the questions in the mystery is, right? So you don't need to read The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to know that it's like Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll are the same person. So that made it kind of underwhelming. I will say this though, if you want like an authentic 17th century, not yeah, 17th century mystery novel horror experience, the book that was the inspiration for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is very good. I read it. I really enjoyed it. You will have to have a basic grasp of Scots because some of the characters speak Scots in it, but overall it's a good book. And the reason it's good is because you don't know what the mystery is, so I won't spoil it. But all the other books, you don't need to know the plot of Dracula to know that the mysterious things are going around in London at the time, and this lady who's sick but she has bite marks in her neck. It's the fact that this Romanian count's actually a vampire, right? So, but for this book, which is the inspiration, it's called The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner. It's by James Hogg, is it? Hold on, it's in my bookshelf. Yeah, James Hogg. Very good book. Now, one thing I will say about um, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is everyone talks about it as if Dr. Jekyll has a split personality, but I would really disagree. I think that Dr. Jekyll actually, as a matter of fact, doesn't have a split personality. It's just his alter ego that he loses control over, right? So in the book, it's not that he like can transform into Mr. Hyde, and he does it by drinking this like potion thing. And it's very clear when you read the confession at the end that he deliberately made Mr. Hyde and the alter ego that accompanies it as a way to do disreputable things while maintaining his um not his character, his reputation as a good doctor, Dr. Jekyll, right? So this is like the 17th century equivalent of someone making an alt account so they can post racist memes, or someone making an alt account on, X so they can like goon or whatever, right? It's the exact same thing. He's just this is my interpretation. He's knowingly and deliberately becoming Mr. Hyde throughout the story, I mean, at the end, he loses control of it, but it's not that it's a different person. It's still Dr. Jekyll. It's just his alter ego that is a medium for him to do the things he would otherwise do if he knew he wasn't gonna get caught for it. That's the whole reason he creates Dr. Jekyll, is so he can do things without getting caught. And like, in the story, right? He like sort of gets off. He like quits Mr. Hyde for a bit, right? Because he realizes it's like a detriment to his life, and he's slowly losing control of himself. So he like for like 2 weeks or something, he tries cold turkey to quit, and then he eventually relents, and like he makes it sound like he makes it sound in his thingy, in his like letter at the very end, that he's giving into a temptation, right? It's not that he's lost control over Mr. Hyde. He's giving into temptation. So he gives into the temptation. He drinks the Mr. Hyde potion that transforms him. And then when he does, like, he doesn't use the term pent up, but he basically says that he was so pent up because of the fact that he hadn't been Mr. Hyde for so long that he goes ahead and kills um that guy at the start of the book. I forget. He kills someone reputable. And then he realizes, oh my gosh, this is even worse than I was before. Um, and then like the thing where he like loses control of himself, and he starts turning into Mr. Hyde when he doesn't want to and all that. I see it as more of him, like, it's not that it's a different person. It's that when he's in that alter ego mode, I guess you could say, he can't control himself, and he's sort of becoming the mask. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to be, but he's becoming the mask. Again, to bring it back to like the alt account on Twitter analogy, it'd be like if you spent all your time using an alt account, and then you made friends on that alt account, people knew you by that, and then you thought of yourself more by your online alternate personality than by your actual in real life human being personality. It's in my opinion, that's how it comes across. Because like there's when you buy the book, it comes with all this like complimentary stuff because it's so the story itself is so small, so it has introductions and a bit of analysis and this and that. But ultimately, like, um, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not about a split personality. I refuse to believe that. He is clearly knowingly committing all the crimes. He's clearly mentally there. It's just that, um, yeah, he's he's lost control at the end, and then he doesn't want to like completely give in to his alter ego, so he kills himself. Right? And that's how it ends. Spoilers. Um, but yeah, that's all I really have to say. I would really recommend everyone read The Private Memoirs and Confessions of a Justified Sinner by James Hogg, because you'll get an authentic experience on account of it not being known. Um, yeah, that's it. I am Sinner, and thanks for listening.